Another week, boys, and another TWAB. This week at Bungie, we are saying thank you to our generous community for all the incredible contributions to this year's Game2Give Charity initiative with Bungie Foundation. We're also offering some clarity into our terms of service regarding in-game behaviors and talking about recent wave of strikes against the Destiny 2 content creator community. And in an odd twist of events, even our own official channels. So we're finally going to get some enlightenment on what all went down over the past week. Now, a lighter TWAB this week, but no less important. This week, we wanted to dive a little deeper into our recent Game2Give Charity initiative with the Bungie Foundation, which donated all proceeds from the first 48 hours to the Ukrainian relief efforts, while also doing some good for kids in need and a variety of other light-worthy initiatives. It was another great year, despite being all virtual again, filled with good times, a giant wheel that made Cosmo's arm much stronger after so many spins, and some awkward dancing with wigs from our dev team. We also saw Guardians from all over the world heed the call and contributed their own communities for a good cause, which provided lasting memories to cherish for a lifetime while also giving back to the world that we all call home. Ready for this week's TWAB? Roll the clip. And by that I mean, read on to the next section. Doing a little good, one light at a time. Another year, another great opportunity to continue the work of the Bungie Foundation for this year's Game2Give Charity initiative. This year, the community banded together once more to raise hype and funds for a variety of good causes, including Ukrainian humanitarian efforts. You can learn more about that here, children's hospitals, and even rehabilitation for veterans reintegrating into the civilian world. As a vet myself, this was something I was not personally aware of before joining the team, and I was ecstatic for yet another reason to support the continued efforts of this organization. But it's not about me, it's about you and the work that we've done together to make the world just a smidge bit better for all. From a spinning wheel filled to the brim with prizes, to an inside look inside some of Destiny's best content, this year's Game2Give event ended on a high note. How high, you may be wondering. We've got the Bungie Foundation here to break it all down. So from the Bungie Foundation, wow, we're completely blown away by the generosity you all showed throughout the Game2Give fundraising campaign in support of the Bungie Foundation's charitable pillars of children's health and well-being, humanitarian aid, and inclusion, diversity, and equity. Thanks to all of you, Game2Give has received and raised a record amount of $2,011,025. We reached this incredible amount of funding because of the 38,500 donors and 575 fundraisers who supported across 103 different countries. To say this is a true global Guardian initiative is an understatement. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for showing us once again how truly special the Bungie community is through your care and compassion for those in need around the world. Countries from all over the world participated in the latest charity drive, showing the true power of what the gaming community is capable of. Together, we were able to provide emotional and social support to more than 100,000 children through entertainment and iPad goodness. Together, we sent medical aid to Ukraine during a time of immense crisis, and together, we've helped diverse youth get the education they want in STEM fields in efforts to reduce racism in the world of game development. Together, we should be proud. If you listen closely, you may even hear Shaq screaming in victory for all these accomplishments, making our space uncles proud, one charity at a time. Yo, on a real note though, guys, beautiful stuff here. Now moving on, clarification of account security policies. Last year, we updated our Destiny 2 security policy and how we would be taking action against account recoveries and account boosting services. Now, we are diving a little deeper into that. But first, a small recap on what these services are and why they are against our guidelines. As noted in our account restrictions and banning policies article in terms of service found here and here, it is referenced that players agreed to not allow access to their Destiny 2 accounts to anyone outside of their umbrella of ownership. Account boosting also falls under the restriction scope, which is where players will relinquish their accounts to boost their light levels and earn certain high-level gear, which puts an unfair investment into one's character when paired up against those playing the game organically. Using these type of services can tarnish competitive activities like Trials of Osiris or even reduce the value of rewards from activities like raids and Grandmaster Nightfalls. To protect the integrity of these experiences, we are issuing the appropriate reprimands to a number of accounts in accordance with our policy. Our security team had this to say about our policies regarding account sharing and other in-game behaviors that can jeopardize account integrity. So from the Bungie product security team in August 2021, Bungie adjusted its policy to clarify that account recovery, boosting, and players that benefit from these services were in violation of our terms of service. Since then, we have closely monitored suspected activity and issued our first ban wave against identified violators. We want to assure the community that we will fairly enforce our policy on player conduct for even the most skilled or well-known players. Destiny is an evolving experience, and we will continue to update our policies to make the game a more enjoyable and safe experience for all players. We will continue to update the community on further evolution of these policies, but for now, you can read up on our current stance right here. So yeah, guys, this actually came out last year. It was after the inclusion of BattleEye why, but considering how bad account recoveries were, and I remember it was awful. Fellas, we were being offered upwards of like $10,000 to $12,000 just to shout out these account recovery websites. Obviously, we never took them, but what I'm trying to say is it was ridiculous amount of money that was being offered. So if they're offering that much money, that should tell you how much money these account recovery websites were actually making. So Bungie had to address both sides. They had to address not only the cheaters, which by the way, there was a lot of cheaters because account recoveries were using cheats to get people's accounts flawless, but they also had to address the money trail, man. And that is where the root of all of this really is. That money trail is what led to those account recovery websites. So it looks like Bungie is now starting to crack down on it. I know some questions are going to be brought up. Cross, what about you? You get on people's accounts and you play with their god rolls. Dude, I don't think that falls within that umbrella. If it does, then obviously we can't get on anyone's account anymore. But it's not like I'm getting on their accounts and playing a Grandmaster Nightfall or playing Trials, right? But if clarification comes out that even that is not allowed, then yeah, we're gonna have to just wait for RNG to bless us, which is never. If I had less as RNG, I would never have to get on anyone's account. Now, the raid emblem update. We have hit a snag in our process to send players who completed the Vow of the Disciple raid during the 48-hour contest mode. We hope to have a resolution soon and will notify players once the emblems are distributed. AKA none of us are getting emblems. Now, Hotfix 4.0.05 will be going out next Tuesday. Not sure what's all going to be on this one, but I'm sure we'll be covering it live when those patch notes drop. PS4 HDR update. Earlier this season, we asked PlayStation 4 players to turn off HDR to prevent crashing on their systems. We believe that an issue has been resolved with the most recent hotfix this past week. If players continue having issues, please report to our help forum. Also, unknown issues. Osmiomantic gloves lose grenade charge after dying. The devoured timer isn't consistent when killing multiple enemies at once compared to killing one enemy. Players on Xbox are crashing at higher rates than usual. And Ryol's planetary materials aren't rotating. All right, now takedown clarifications. Here we go, boys. Over the past week, we've noticed an escalation in strikes against content creators in the Destiny 2 community, both big and small. And while some of the takedowns in the past have been legitimate violations of our established standards, many recent strikes were issued for content that does not violate those terms. This prompted us to release the following statement on the official Bungie channels, saying, we're aware of a series of copyright takedowns on YouTube and we're actively investigating. This includes content on our own Bungie channels. These actions are not being taken at the request of Bungie or our partners. Please stand by for future updates. We also included a link to our intellectual property guidelines, which can be found here. The most recent wave of takedowns was peculiar, and upon further investigation, we have confirmed that they included some takedown actions from fraudulent accounts created to impersonate our IP protective service. Google has confirmed that the accounts that have submitted fraudulent legal requests to YouTube have been terminated and will no longer have access to Google products. All fraudulent submissions from these accounts will be reversed. Some have already. The rest should come through shortly. The processing of these takedowns was an enforcement mistake by Google, and beyond rescinding the strikes and reinstating the videos, they are also working on processing improvements to reduce the likelihood of similar mistakes in the future. Please be patient as we work with YouTube to correct the fraudulent DMCA notices. In the meantime, we ask that you please refrain from harassing any member of the community or any employees of the CSC. We wanted to clear up a few misconceptions caused by this fraud. First, CSC, a Bungie partner that aids in IP protection, did not rogue or issue any unauthorized takedowns. Bungie does not use or authorize algorithmic takedowns on YouTube. All actions by the CSC are reviewed and authorized by Bungie. Because these are human processes, in rare occurrences, human error has occurred, in which we have quickly worked to correct any issue. Bungie also investigated the claims of suspicious takedowns and found that several strikes were perpetrated by a bad actor that is not affiliated with Bungie or CSC, but has impersonated CSC by falsifying look-alike email aliases. This attack occurred after and possibly in response to a recent set of authentic takedowns of OST uploads. Wow. All right, so it may actually be, at least from what I'm seeing here, in response to someone else's YouTube channel getting taken down. All right, I'm not gonna go off into speculation land. I don't even know. Regardless, we got hit with the strikes last week, and fellas, I was freaking out. Look, something we've been told since day one. You get 3 strikes, your channel goes bye-bye. And I've heard of like some horror stories of people getting their channel shut down for up to 6 months. So I was just sure, because we got 1 strike last Thursday, another strike, what was it, on Sunday? I was like, dude, we're gonna get another strike. Like, at this rate, without a doubt, we're gonna get a 3rd strike. Our channel's gonna get shut down, which is why I freaked out and told you guys to go to our clip channel. I was already telling everybody in the team, it's like, yo guys, everything, get ready to start uploading it to the 2nd channel. We're not even gonna put it on the 1st channel because it's just gonna get deleted. Luckily, we woke up Monday and everything was fine. Everything had been fixed. Everything was reversed. And I think a lot of it probably did have to do with Bungie clarifying things there with Google. Now, most of the recent takedowns carried out by us were for uploads of original soundtrack, OST music content. While it's not permitted to take a soundtrack we release and upload it to your channel, there's been feedback from the community about the desire to access music that is not currently available. Our audio team's main priority is creating and maintaining the amazing music in the game, and we won't be able to release every version of every song, but we do agree that we would like to create avenues for the community to fill these gaps and archive some of the music not currently available. Going forward, we will be allowing certain Destiny music tracks to be uploaded to channels for archival purposes. For those creators interested in this type of content creation, the guidelines below should be reviewed. It can't be an OST song that Bungie has already released or posted elsewhere publicly. The content cannot be monetized, and the creator needs to obtain permission from Bungie by contacting this email right here, licensing@bungie.com. At the end of the day, our content creator community is invaluable to us. And no, not just the big creators. We understand that many creators have their content as a source of primary income, and we do not wish to cause harm to those that express their passion through art. However, as with any company, there are boundaries in place to protect both the community and the property that the Destiny 2 teams have poured their souls into through the years. Because this is important to the future of the game and the future of our community, we have been working to update our community guidelines messaging found in its original iteration here to make our boundaries as a business clearer so that you, the creators, can make the content your souls crave without fear. We will share the updated resource with you all when those changes are finalized. All right, well, that's actually fantastic. That means whatever music that Bungie doesn't have up publicly, you'll be able to request and still have it uploaded. On a real note though, I hope that everyone who got a strike this past week, if you're a content creator, I really do hope it gets fixed here soon. I know that stuff is stressful. Now, as a final note here, before we let you go, there's one more thing. Remember that nifty Valve the Disciple raid jacket that is a current reward for being among the first Guardians to beat the challenge? If not, no worries. There's a little refresher image below. For those that are hoping to get their hands and their gamer tags on the latest merch, consider this your gentle reminder that the last day to claim the reward is coming up fast, like end of the month fast, March 31st to be exact. So if you don't want to miss out, make sure to redeem that reward no later than 11:59 p.m. Pacific on March the 31st. Otherwise, like our youth, this too shall slip through your fingers. Wow, hippie, way to get existential there. As always, we're continuing to parse their feedback as players help shape the future of what the Destinyverse has to offer. And look, I'm not mad that you guys don't also tag us in some sweet dad jokes. I'm just disappointed. But please, send dad jokes, for real. Oh, for real? I've got some great dad jokes. I've got like an arsenal of dad memes. I've got an entire folder dedicated to it. Now, we've got more on the way, but for now, thank you again for being the amazing community you are and sharing with us your struggles and your triumphs. You're amazing, and don't let anyone make you feel differently. Until next time, stay fresh, be kind, and kick all the butt in game. I should go. Love, hippie. All right, fellas, that's your TWAB this week. I know, not necessarily a lot of meaty stuff in game, but still good stuff, right? We'll be dropping reviews a bunch this week, fellas, and we're also going to be playing Trials live tomorrow. Feel free to come by the stream if you like. And I have been getting requests to play Elden Ring. So perhaps tomorrow after the stream or after we do Trials, we may actually give it a go. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching. And as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.